I came this close to deleting the YouTube channel. And the reason why probably won't surprise you. Haters, aka trolls, aka assholes, whatever you want to call them. Point is, they have been making my life a living hell ever since this channel started growing. And as much as I would like to be able to ignore them, that is simply not a possibility. They are just too much of a destructive force. It is not something you can ignore. I've tried that in the beginning, and in the beginning, yeah, ignoring them worked because there weren't that many, they weren't that intense, it wasn't that bad, and just ignoring them did the job. But it eventually got to the point where it got too intense, and I'm like, I can't have that negativity in my life, so I started removing certain comments, blocking people when things got too extreme. But even that only worked for a short period. It eventually got to the point where I'm like, I can't allow this amount of negativity, this stress that it's causing me into my life. I'm already struggling to survive. I can't afford to deal with people like that. So unfortunately, I had to stop reading comments as a result of that. Which sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. But it's just the reality. And I accepted that and I moved on. But of course, they kept going and arguing with people in the comments and everything. And luckily for me, and luckily for this community, my friend kept reading the comments and he would just send me the names of people who were really, aggressively arguing with other people, causing problems, attacking other people for having different beliefs, and I would remove those people. And then recently, last week, my friend went that extra step and offered like, hey, just add me as an administrator to your YouTube channel. That way I can go in and monitor everything, remove those people, and protect the community, because it got to the point where they weren't just attacking me anymore, they were attacking other people. And it's like, when it gets to the point where you attack someone who goes out of their way to be generous and to donate to someone or something that they believe can benefit from that they want to encourage and support, and you attack them for doing that good deed, that is simply not something that I can accept. And luckily, my friend was able to step in and take over that responsibility for me and protect this community. And, he keeps me updated of how things are going. And it seems like things are going very, very well. He's able to remove all the troublesome people very quickly so it doesn't start to spread and cause trouble for everyone else. And it seems like the health of the community is getting better as a result of that, for which I am incredibly grateful. However, they decided to once again take things one step further and not only attack the YouTube channel, attack me, and attack other people on the channel who were supporting me. They took it a step further and attacked the GoFundMe that my friend created for me a year and a half ago when I was first diagnosed. Someone literally went as far as donating $100, canceling the donation, and then reporting me as a scammer to the GoFundMe fraud department. As a result of which, the campaign has been suspended, and now I have to go through the trouble of dealing with customer support for GoFundMe to try to explain the situation, to get everything rectified, to hopefully get the campaign back online, so people who want to donate are able to do it. And it's so frustrating that yesterday got to the point, yesterday is when I realized this had happened. I'd been dealing with GoFundMe for the last few days because the payments were paused and the campaign was suspended, but I didn't really know why. And I was trying to understand and figure that out. And then yesterday I learned from my friend that someone did that. And the reason why he knew that is because not only did this person do that, they then went back to the YouTube channel and bragged about it in the comments. So it's like, okay, for some delusional reason, you believe I'm a scammer and I'm trying to take advantage of people. But instead of just doing that, you do that and then you go in the comment and you harass people and you attack people, and then you go to GoFundMe and you donate and take it back and create a complaint and cause all this trouble for me, then go back in the comments on YouTube and brag about it. And it just got to the point where I'm like, I can't fucking deal with this bullshit anymore. I have literally been struggling to survive, to stay alive for the last year and a half. And I've been dealing with assholes like that since the beginning. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. And it just, not just me, they attack the community, they attack everyone else. And they just become so obsessed that it's like, no matter what I do, they will never give up. And that's why yesterday, that combined with everything else I've been going through recently, like the pain in my leg, the breathing issues, all the symptoms, all the side effects, all the struggle, everything, it just got too much. And I'm like, I can't fucking take this anymore. And the only solution seemed like, fuck it, let them win. I don't care anymore. I can't handle this anymore. It's too much for me. It's literally killing me. I give up. Let them fucking win. I'll delete the channel. I'll delete the GoFundMe. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. And it just got so overwhelming that I'm like, I can't even deal with this anymore. I can't even deal with being conscious and having to deal with all this bullshit. Let me just take a pain pill, go to sleep, because I cannot handle this right now. So I went to bed, it was 6 p.m. And I still had trouble sleeping, yes, trouble breathing as well. Pain in my leg, very long night, and because of everything going through my head, I had a hard time falling asleep. But I ended up spending so much time thinking about it that I just came to the conclusion I can't let them win. Because if I give up, even if it's just because I'm doing it for my own health, because I don't want to die, because this is too intense for me, they're gonna believe that they were right. Because in their twisted minds, they're the hero. In their twisted minds, I'm the scammer, I'm the one who's pretending to have cancer, I'm the one who's lying to everyone and taking advantage of everyone, and they're the grand heroic person who comes along and saves everybody. That's how they view themselves. So to them, they're not the bad guy. They're the good guy. They're the hero. They're the misunderstood hero that is going to come in and save everybody else. That is how they see themselves. And I'm just like, I can't allow them to win, because if I give up, they assume, oh, I was right. He was a scammer. He was pretending to have cancer. He was taking advantage of everyone else. I beat him. I defeated him. I win. And they're just going to keep doing that and attacking other channels and other people who subscribe to that channel, just like they did with this channel. I'm like, I can't allow them to win. As difficult as this is for me, I cannot allow them to win. I cannot give up. So, even though I came this close to completely giving up just because I'm like, I can't take this anymore, last night while I was trying to fall asleep, I just realized I can't allow that to happen. Not for myself, not for everyone else in this community, and it's also not fair to everyone else. Because these haters, whatever you want to call them, there is such a tiny, 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 tiny portion of the community. It's not fair for the 99.99% of everyone else that's a member of this community to suffer as a result of those people. So I simply cannot give up. I cannot afford to, not for myself and not for everyone in this community. So it just like, even though yesterday was such a painful day, it made me just so sad that this is the reality of the world that we live in. That, you know, people who are literally fighting for their lives and take the time to share their journey, to try to inspire and motivate other people, get attacked so consistently and relentlessly, and see the community they have built, the people they've brought together, being attacked in that same way, and get pushed to the point where it's just so overwhelming, they're willing to give everything up just because of that tiny minority that for some reason becomes obsessed and tries to ruin it for everybody else. And I just find that so sad, and that's why it's like I was so overwhelmed that it's just like, what's the point? Like, it just got to the point where I'm like, there's no point anymore. Let's just give up. But then, I took the time to calm myself down and really think about it, and I realized, no, I can't let them win. I can't. It wouldn't be good for me. It wouldn't be good for the community. And it wouldn't be good for those people, because even though those people are convinced that they're doing the right thing, that they're the good guy and I'm the bad guy, I can't allow them to win, because if they do, then it's only going to reinforce their delusional belief that they were right, and they're going to keep doing this to more and more and more channels and just continue to cause so much pain to so many people who don't deserve it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, even though this sucks for me, it's making my situation that's already very difficult even more difficult. I simply cannot afford to give up. So instead of giving up, I'm going to go the complete opposite, and I'm going to fight them. Now, I want to be clear on how I'm going to do that, because I know that lashing back at them in the way that they lashed out at me, that they lashed out at this community, and I'm assuming they do this to other channels and other communities as well, is not the answer. Fighting fire with fire is not the answer. You need to fight fire with water. So in this case, okay, what is my water to their fire? Well, they basically represent that tiny percentage of the population online, specifically on YouTube, who just ruin everything for everyone. Let me instead represent that other portion, that gigantic portion of the community that is filled with amazing, incredible, loving, kind, supportive people. And one, through my own actions of not giving up, I'm proving to those people good will always triumph over evil. Even though you don't believe you're evil, in this situation, you are. Plus, by continuing to do that, I will inspire other people to do the same thing. And together, as a community, our combined positivity will outweigh their combined negativity. And the way I found to do that is to continue doing exactly what I'm doing, but take it a little notch up, So I'm going to continue to share my story as I have been, as authentically and realistically as possible. I will continue to share whatever feels right, not feeling the need to try to prove every single little detail, because I know that no matter what I do, I could literally interview my oncologist every single week. I could film every single one of my treatments. I could show every single one of my scans. People like this will never be convinced. And even if by some miracle, me providing some sort of proof will convince them of that, there's just going to be more people that are going to come along and take their place. And those types of people don't take the time to go back and do the proper research to determine, hey, is this guy legit or not? So no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter what kind of proof I show, and I've shown some in the past, and that's how I know this is true, it's not going to change anything. So all that I can do is just continue fiercely being myself, sharing in the way that seems the best to me, to seems the most valuable to the majority of this community, as well as include a statement that will sound something like this at the end of each video. Because so far I've, mentioned every once in a while that there's the possibility to donate, and when people ask me how to do it, I explain it and everything. But I really avoided putting an emphasis on that because, of this very reason, because I didn't want to give the impression to people like, hey, this is what this channel is all about. Like, I'm just asking for money. I want to make money out of this. Like, I'm using my illness to be able to make money. Like, that's not the impression I want to give, because that is not the reality of this situation. However, because of these haters, they're going out there, they're attacking me in this community so viciously and doing everything in their power to ruin everything, that I'm like, all right, let me just counterbalance that by, at the end of every video, just letting people know how they can support me. Not asking people to support me, not telling them to support me, just explaining, hey, if you want to support me, these are the way in which you can do it. So, assuming that everything can be resolved with the GoFundMe, because at the moment, the campaign has been suspended, the payments have been suspended, no one can currently donate, I can't receive any money from that, so I'm going to try to fix that. If we can fix that, then at the end of the video, I'm going to be like, hey, if you want to contribute, you can go donate to the GoFundMe. Here's the link. I'm also considering creating a subscription for this channel, because YouTube gives us that possibility as creators. I can create a subscription and people can pay every month for that. And instead of just donating once, if someone wants to support in a more permanent manner, contributing every month, well, that way that would allow them to do that. And I would also find ways to, create value for people who do that within that membership, that subscription. That way, people who choose to support me can get more value, and it's not too overwhelming for me. And that way everybody benefits. Plus, I think it's also important to mention, these haters, they want to prove to everyone that they're right. They want to defeat people who, in their perception, are doing something bad, which a lot of the times, unfortunately, is not the case, as it is in this situation. But that's kind of their goal. So they want to kind of they see people starting to rise up and have a positive impact on people, and something within them is just like, nah, you know what? This is not legit. Let me destroy this person and bring him back down to being nothing. Well, how do we combat that? Take things to the next level. Bring it even bigger and bigger. And one of the main reasons why I'm sharing my journey is because I want to help inspire people, motivate people, because I know that sharing my story can help a lot of people. And yes, doing it through YouTube is one very good way of doing that. But if we can get that to that next level, then I could truly start having an impact and truly inspire a lot of people. So at the end of every video, I'm also going to ask people, if you know anyone, if you have any connections in podcasting, in television, in any kind of domain that would allow me to share my message with people, share my story to try to inspire and help other people who are going through difficult times, then please let me know. And that is how I've chosen to combat these haters, not through hate, like most people would tend to do, because it's like that's human nature. Someone attacks you, you attack them back. But that just creates more hate and more attack and more hate and more attack, and it just keeps going and going and going, and that's not what I want to do. I'm aware that these types of people will always be here in some form or another. So what can I do to combat that? Let's just keep sharing as much positivity as I can, asking people if they want to encourage me. Here's how to do it. And if you know of anyone who can help me share that message to a bigger audience, please let me know. Please put me in contact with those people. That is how we combat these haters. That is how we not only negate their negative effect, but just completely explode the opposite. So instead of just let's say these are the hater, like it represents the hater, the impact that they have. Instead of just fighting back and creating the same, so then everything kind of like balances out. It's like, no, let's create something even bigger so it completely crushes them and they stop being those kinds of people. That is my goal. That is how I plan on combating this. And, whatever role you choose to play in that, I will be grateful for that. So, I don't know exactly the full details of everything. I'm still trying to work everything out. But that is the approach that I've chosen, because for myself, for this community, I cannot afford to give up. I cannot afford to let these haters win. And I want to be able to fight that in the most effective, loving, supportive way possible that will have the biggest positive impact on the most amount of people possible. Sorry. So I thought it was very important to share that. And I know this has been a long video. I know a lot of it has been very negative, and I hate that so many of my videos are negative, but unfortunately it's just, that is the reality of my situation. That is what I'm going through. I wish it wasn't, but that is what I'm going through. So that is what I'm sharing. And hopefully with this new approach, we can extract positivity from all this negativity, and not just extract a portion of it, extract so much of it that it creates a snowball effect, and we can together as a community help positively impact so many more people, that the haters, no matter how intense they are or how many of them there are, they simply cannot combat such a powerful positive force. That is really what I'm going for. I need your help in whatever way that you can to help me achieve that. I'm going to become more clear as, time goes on, the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. I'll really try to kind of like zoom in and figure out the best way to do this. But for now, it's what I just shared. That seemed like the best way to deal with the situation. So thank you for staying with me throughout this video. I know it was very long, but I felt it was very, very important to share this and to take the time to really break everything down and explain this situation to you, because I don't know why haters convince themselves that I'm a scammer and that I don't have cancer. And I just don't get it. But it's okay. I don't need to, because maybe that's why they're here. They're here to push me to the point where I'm just like, I can't let this go on any longer. Let me not use, but let me inspire this community to, as a group, rise up and have such a positive impact on the world that no amount of negativity can impact that. So it's like, maybe this is why this has been happening and why it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. At least I hope it is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you and I appreciate each and every one of you so much, even the haters, because as I just mentioned, without you, we wouldn't have gotten to this point. So even though I wish people like you didn't exist, it's part of the world we live in, and hopefully it can lead to something good. So thank you, everyone. I love you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.